That's all someone sends you after a first date?
It's better than a crying face.
Yes, it's true.
I think that meaning would be pretty clear. I understand the aubergine, yeah.
I actually did cry. I feel like I don't always cry when I read scripts. Did you cry, Felicity?
Yeah, I cried more when I watched the film actually than when I read the script. So that's testament to some pretty good acting going on. But yeah, it's very moving. I think it's the fact that you're just not expecting the love story continues. It's when it comes back round and how much that love endures is just so, it just gets you, doesn't it?
I mean, several, but especially at the end when, I don't want to give it away, but gosh, I just hadn't, when you're making a movie, you're always like, it needs to have a good ending. And this one, I was like, oh, it's got a good ending. We're going to just be bawling. And, I'm a sucker. I cry at like commercials, but I was like, hopefully other people will, feel as moved by this because it's so sweet and romantic.
If I make myself cry when I'm writing it, then I know I'm onto a winner. And this book I felt very deeply, and it did make me cry at various points. And the film has made me cry every time I've watched it, which is amazing given that I know what happens.
I have received lots of them, actually. What about you, Felicity? It's because I write very romantic letters, so I feel like I'm not just receiving love letters out of the blue. It's like reciprocated.
Apropos of nothing. Yeah, I think it's particularly in our modern world, I think it's a lovely way of particularly getting to know someone is through writing to each other. And you get to know a different side of them than when you meet in person. I actually think letters are often quite revealing of people's character in a way that you don't always get in person. My
husband and I fell in love via letter writing. Yeah, we were together briefly in 2001, and then we've spent 8 years apart. Not on bad terms, just kind of went our separate ways, and then reunited for dinner one night in 2009. And he went back home to LA, I stayed in Dallas, and then that started this correspondence. And so just as friends. And so we just were writing letters, keeping up with each other. And then that turned into oh, hey, I'm going to send you this mixtape with these songs that I love, to oh, I picked up this little thing from there. And so we sent these care packages and then hand notes. And he is the most poetic and beautiful writer I've ever known. And I think because of the letter writing process, we were able to fall in love, and I was able to learn about him on a much deeper level because, not all men want to talk about their feelings or about their hopes and dreams. But writing them, he was able to open up. And so via letters, we fell in love, which is another reason why I wanted to do this. When I read it, I was like, it's us.
Do you know, I was thinking about this the other day, and one of the most romantic letters I ever received was from an old boyfriend. But what I realized, I'm a little bit older now, and I read this letter and it said, that walk that we took along the Seine in Paris on New Year's Day changed my life. And all I could think was, I don't remember us going to Paris. I mean, I'm sure he was right, but it's just a bit worrying. I can't even remember half the things that people write about. So it's nice though, yeah.
That's all someone sends you after a first date?
It's better than a crying face.
Yes, it's true.
It depends on how the date went. If I like the person, then I'm like, oh, that's exciting. I feel the same. That's great.
I would have to give it to my kids and say, what does this mean? Because I live in terror of emojis because everything has a double meaning now. And when I went to use a taco not long ago, my daughter went, you can't send that, because apparently it's something very rude. So I'm the old-fashioned techno nan who writes out the whole thing with grammar and all the rest of it because I don't want to get myself into trouble.
Aubergine could be read in many different ways.
Yeah, I think it depends on what your intentions are and what you want. out of that relationship.
Yeah, exactly. Depends how into it you were.
Yeah.
No. No, absolutely not.
I think that meaning would be pretty clear. I understand the aubergine. Yeah.
Let's go swimming. I don't know what that means.
Disgusting. No.
I think I understand that one as well.
I think that was quite funny.
Yeah.
I'd be like, okay, so this isn't going my way. I mean, thumbs up is kind of like, hey, friends, like, I'm glad we're friends now. I mean, maybe there's more to it, but it's kind of like, this is a cut and dry type of person.
Is that rude? I send a thumbs up all the time. Have I done something terrible? Is it right now somebody that I work with going, oh my God, she's keen? Yeah.
Unless the food was exquisitely delicious that night, I'd probably be
a little worrying.
Trying not to respond. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really gross.
I think I'd probably blank them. Nobody wants a drooly face in real life or in an emoji, right? I feel like this should be my next book, How to Understand Emojis by Techno Nan.
I don't know if it's ruined. I mean, it's definitely shifted. I think, our ideas and perceptions of romance, at least those of us who grew up without technology the way it is now, things are just shifting. And I think that if you asked a 16 or a 17-year-old, they'd probably say no, but asking us, I would say yes, probably fully ruined romance.
However you get there, whether it's through a dating app or, I don't know, or you're introduced by someone, or it doesn't really matter. When you connect, you connect. It's immaterial how you got there.
Oh, ruined, but it's definitely made it more convenient. And anytime you provide people, myself included, with something that's convenient and easy, we're likely to go that route instead of the route that's a little, takes a little more effort and work. But I love that we can text. I absolutely prize and treasure a handwritten letter, but because of texting and because I have my husband is right here at my fingertips. We travel a lot. He's on set. We can't call. And so all day we're just staying in touch. Same with my daughter. She's, living in Manchester and my mom. So as much as I love a handwritten letter, I'm really grateful for texting.
I think it hasn't helped. I mean, everybody I know who's single, who uses apps or WhatsApp or FaceTime or text, says that actually half the time it's impossible to know whether people mean what they say. Whereas in the old days, if you really liked someone, you turned up at their house or you rang them or you wrote them a love letter. I mean, nobody writes a love letter if they're not 100% keen, right? Because it actually involves effort and, formulating your thoughts and walking to a mailbox. So, yeah, I think maybe there is room for some of the old ways.
Yeah, I mean, you can't live in a world where you only get one stab at things. And when things are right, they come round again. Mm-hmm. That's what I always think. You do have to trust the universe a little bit.
I do believe in second chances. I think that sometimes you meet the right person, but it's at the wrong time. And my favorite saying is nothing is set in stone. It's what I tell my kids all the time, because what's not right now, it doesn't mean that your paths won't cross again in the future. And I really like that idea. I think my favorite book is Love in the Time of Cholera, where you have two people who meet, whose paths cross, and they only really get together when they're old, but it's kind of lovely. It's a lovely idea.
I don't know if it changed my view, but I do think it served as a beautiful reminder. I think it's anytime you see two people connecting, in this case, 4 people connecting, you have, I think, the ability to reflect on your own life and to question decisions that you've made and where you're at and just reflect. And I think those reminders are always nice little angels sent to inspire us.